Hey everyone, welcome to the first of two Prime Big Deals Prime Day package openings. Yesterday and today was, yesterday and today was the start of the Prime Days deal. They got about 10 hours remaining on them. I did get something else from the Prime Day deal. It wasn't a Prime Day deal, but I'm not going to say what it is. I don't know if I'll do a package opening or not on it. And if I don't do a package opening on that one tomorrow, then I'll probably just do a DVD Blu-ray update because it's a 4K Blu-ray. And when you see in the update what Blu-ray it is or 4K Blu-ray it is, then you'll get an idea of what I got off Amazon. That was under it. That was part of its Prime Day, Prime Big Deal, Prime Days deal. If however they kind of promote it, the Prime Day deal, if you will. But what did I get here? Well, as I alluded to in the package opening yesterday from Frank Hill, it's Frank. Two of them are books from a family member who wants to read them, and one of them is a commandum book, or whatever it's called, conundrum. Basically, it's a collection of kind of like basically a condensed collection of the original Marvel take on an 80s franchise that last year celebrated 40 years and this year is celebrating 41 years. And then the other thing is an upgrade of something that Amazon came up with long ago. It was their answer to the iPad, if you will, to the iPad and the tablet, the Android tablets, even though it's in pretty much in that latter category itself. But what are they? Well, let's try and look at this one first, if you will. Take the address off there so you don't see it. Um, but yeah, I do have a package opening, like I say, coming tomorrow. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, then I'll do a DVD Blu-ray update so you can see what the 4K Blu-ray that I got is. But with that said, let's open up these packages here to see exactly what they are from a book and upgraded standpoint. Let's open up this one. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Open this up. So we have The Maga Doctrine by the late Charlie Kirk. This recently came out. One of my family members wanted me to get this book because they want to read it. So we have that. And then here for 40, I think it was $42, $41, something like that. We have the Commandum 1, the first volume, if you will, of Transformers Generation 1. This is by Image through the Skybound label, so a little bent. But what this is, it is a collection of the entire G1 Marvel run. That's right, it's a collection of the entire, the entire G1 Marvel run. That's what it is. And that's pretty cool. Now I'm looking, yeah, basically they had now you're looking at this and you're probably saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, why is Spider-Man in here, right? Well, basically when IDW did this originally or did something similar, they had to exclude certain issues out. So basically when they did a re-release of their take on this, they had to basically make sure they got the rights. They had to make sure they got things settled and agreements made and all that. Well, Image, which is part of DC, DC. Well, I think it's a division of DC Comics, something like that. But Image Comics, through Skybound, decided, hey, we're going to rectify that. We're going to make sure we get the licenses from, from basically we're going to get the rights and the licenses from Marvel to make sure that to make sure that nothing gets excluded, nothing gets left out. And this went for originally on Amazon. It went for about $42, I believe, $41. I don't know if it's about the same here. I'm trying to let me see if I can get a good look at it. Hold on, guys. Yeah, it went for about the same, but it's basically a collection of all the issues up to issue 146, and then issues 1 to 4 of Headmasters. And they do have another volume coming out in a couple of weeks, which concludes all of this. So I'm going to try to get that if I can, because that way I can have the entire series. And some of these issues I actually have over here. Some of these issues I actually have over here because I can recognize. I have this issue. I recognize the cover and everything. So I have some of them. I have this issue. I know that. And let's see. Trying to. Yeah, I got this issue as well. Mainly, I got a lot of the earlier issues going forward and everything. I got mainly a lot of the earlier issues and such. So that's pretty. So it's pretty cool to have. To have them all together. I do remember having this, but it wasn't a full size comic. Instead, it was basically like a mini, a little bit of a mini comic digest, which basically was the issue, and I think another couple of issues, but it was in mini digest form. And I remember having this, and I remember having it with this cover on there. And I had that when I was a kid, and I would read that mostly when I would go to like Lake Comanche and all that during the summer with my family. But yeah, got but yeah, they I got this. I wanted to contribute to it when it was being put on Kickstarter, but I had a feeling that it was gonna, that eventually it was gonna come out anyway, and it did. Got a little bent here. That's fine. We can smooth that out a little bit. What do you what do you expect out of these kind of books and everything? But yeah, we got a little. Do we? How bad is the bending? Doesn't feel like it's too bad. It doesn't feel like it's too bad. It's just the way the book's made. But yeah, that's the first package right there. So that's pretty cool. And then the next package here is we're going to take the address off again, so that way you guys don't see it. There we go. Um, yeah, and I also got back from an interview today. It was one of those open house interviews where basically you're not the only one interviewed. They kind of like put like a little group together that they interview, like 3 or 4 people together, and one of the managers or people put in that position talks to you and all that. So yeah, I was part of that today, and pray I get the job. I have a good feeling I'm going to get a positive email, an email of advancement, but pray I get it. And it's basically for a certain sort of fast food restaurant that's very well known and very popular with a lot of people. And the initials are P and E, and that's all I'm going to say. But now let's take a look at what this next one is. This next package is, shall we? Okay, so first up we have Hillbilly Elegy in a Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. J.D. Vance. This is his story and everything. So yeah, this came out like a few years before he became VP. So that again, so that's one of the other books a family member of mine wanted to read. So there you go. And the last thing here, last but not least, we're going to get it out here, is the Fire HD 10. And this is the 13th generation. Got 32 gigabytes. And if you're wondering, okay, is this the upgrade you were talking about? Yeah, it is, because the original Fire HD I had, which was the Fire HD 6, if you will, basically, hold on for a sec, I'll show you what I'm talking about. but mainly this here. This is a family members, if you will. But this here, my version of this, pretty much what happened. And I'll be right. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. But like I say, mainly what happened is that one, my verse, oh, I'm trying to find the right words. My Fire HD6. That again, that one was a family members right there. But my Fire HD6, my version, if you will, pretty much burned out. Long story short, one day I was going to try to charge it to use it, and nothing came on. The screen would not come on, anything like that. It was completely just done. It was wiped out. It was just wiped out. I think, I don't know if it has a limit. I don't know if these tablets, Android, iPads, iAirs, Fires, what have you. I don't know if they have a lifespan or something like that. But mine, pretty much the HD6, pretty much like I said, it kicked the bucket. It kicked the bucket, and I had it for a while. I had it since I lived in Patterson, and like I said, it kind of basically kicked the bucket. It just said, "I'm done," because like I mentioned, I was going to try to plug it in one day, and it did not want to charge. It did not want to bring up the little battery logo saying or battery icon saying it's charging or anything like that. It just would not turn on. And I did everything. I did everything. I would, that people would. I'm trying to find the right word to say. People would advise you to do to try to make it work, and nothing would work. Nothing would work. Nothing would, turn on or anything. And to me, what that meant is it was just completely dead. It was just completely dead. And I was looking into some other, not other, but yeah, I was looking into some other potential tablets, potential tablets and everything. And there was this Android one that I was looking at, and I'm thinking, oh, that looks good. It comes with a keyboard and all that. But then I started noticing that there was, a lot of, it looked like it had mostly positive reactions on Amazon, positive responses. But then I looked at more of the more recent responses, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, because the people, most of the newer responses are saying this, are saying that, and I don't want to take a chance. So basically I went with what I felt was, the best choice and something I'm more reliable with and more familiar with, and that's a Fire HD 10 tablet, which basically, as I alluded to earlier, I hinted at, basically falls into the category of being an Android itself. It's just under the Amazon umbrella. It's just under the Amazon branding as a Fire HD 10, with a few catches here and there. One of those catches is, you have to use their store to purchase stuff, and hopefully this store has mostly of what everybody else, mostly everybody else offers, as well. And what this does for me when it comes to this is it, allows me to use this thing here less, than anything else, and also can potentially help me make more videos and all that down the line, since it has like that 32 gigabyte, and from what I understand, it is expandable. It is expandable. 3 gigabyte RAM, octa core processor, and 10.1 10.1 1080p full HD display. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And I might do a package opening, box opening, on that as well. But that's it for the package opening today, guys. The first of the two Prime Day package openings. There is another one coming tomorrow. But like I said, if I don't do it, then I'll probably do a DVD Blu-ray update instead, and then that way you can figure out, what was the 4K Blu-ray that I got in the package tomorrow, or that I'm getting tomorrow from Amazon, courtesy of that was under the Prime Day deals, if you will. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say, guys. And in closing, do me all a favor, guys. Like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel. Also, click on the links in the description to find my content elsewhere. Also, share the video and click on the top links to go to my fourth wall store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. I have one item up there right now, but there will be more to come in the future, I guarantee it. As well as click on the link at the bottom to go to my OG Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. And support me over at Patreon. It'd be greatly appreciated. As well as on Venmo and Cash App, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated with those financial supports if you could do that at this time right now for me. But that's all I'm going to say, guys. So until next time, I am out. Take care. God bless.